Johnny Weir, best known as a competitive figure skater with 3 U.S. national championships and 2 Olympic berths under his belt, can now add the title author to his list of accolades. His new book, Welcome to My World, chronicles his life on and off the ice. Johnny Weir, good morning to you.
Good morning.
You know, they say you cannot judge a book by its cover, which is interesting because you purposely picked the cover for this book.
Absolutely.
To make a statement. What were you trying to say?
My story is very pure and very, very similar to many Americans. I'm from a small town and I dreamed of bigger and better things and I worked hard to achieve them. And the cover of my book is basically what the public think of me. And I wanted that to be very much the case where people do judge my book by the cover, read my story, and come away with a completely evolved sense of who Johnny Weir is.
Yeah, because I do think people see you as extremely flamboyant and out there, a brilliant skater, but
crazy.
A little crazy. Absolutely right. What are we missing?
Nothing. Everyone has a million people that live inside them. And my fashion sense can be a bit outlandish, and my costumes are crazy, and I like things to be excessive. But in no way is that really who I am. I love the simplicity of life. I'm from the country. I love to work hard. I love vacuuming. That's my favorite pastime. And
vacuuming?
Yes, vacuuming. I love lines in my carpets. But no, I mean, I'm a very simple person, but I like to have fun with clothes.
People may not realize that as a little boy you loved horseback riding, and then you got a pair of skates from your folks, started taking lessons at 11, which is pretty old to start skating. And did you realize immediately, this is my destiny?
Well, I actually started to skate on a cornfield behind my house. I'm from Amish country, Pennsylvania, Quarryville, and I had no idea what the future would hold for me, but I felt like skating was so special, and I was starting to get bored with horseback riding, and I was showing and almost on our national team, and I said, no, let's start taking ice skating lessons. And within a week, I knew that it was my destiny. The coaches all said, you have so much natural ability, you're great, you need a personal coach that teaches you every week, and you have to skate every day. And within a year, I was on the U.S. national figure skating team.
And the rest, as they say, is history.
Yes.
You know, this book has been a hot topic in the news and entertainment programs because for the first time, you sort of come out, and you do, and you say that you're gay. Why did you do it now? And are you surprised by the reaction?
I'm very surprised by the reaction because I'm a person, I've never lived in a closet. I've never claimed to be anything, I've never claimed to be straight or gay. I claim to be Johnny Weir. And that's something that I think is very important for anybody in this world, is to own who you are, regardless of what you're born into. I was born a white male, a white gay male. And I don't celebrate being white or male, so why should I celebrate being gay? That's my opinion on the whole thing. I know people have been activists for years and have worked so hard and tirelessly, and
they've wanted you to be an activist.
They definitely have wanted me to be an activist. But I think the best way I can be an activist is to live my life and not make that the main thing that is Johnny Weir. I'm much more than just a gay man.
And yet there's a very poignant moment in your book. There's many, but the 1 week after you turned 18, you decided to tell your mom, who was your best buddy.
Yes.
Really, and you sat her down, or she was sitting down, I guess, watching TV. She'd fallen asleep.
Yes.
And you came up to her and said, I've got something to tell you. And when you told her, you write, she couldn't speak and her shoulders went way up around her ears. Suddenly it felt like I was sitting in the room with a stranger, and this was my mom, my best friend. The energy around us dropped as she started to cry.
And I think, you know, having talked about that moment with my mom several times, it wasn't the fact that I was coming out as gay to her. It's she was so worried for my future and my future happiness. And that's all that we've ever talked about. She just wants me to be happy with a man, marrying a woman, having kids. No matter what my future holds, she wants me to be happy. So she just thought that it would make my road more difficult, which in many cases it has.
Yeah.
In many cases it has. I mean, I was looked at differently in my own sport, in figure skating, which is stereotypically a very flamboyant and gay sport, which... you know,
but you pushed some of the members of the Federation the wrong way. I mean, do you regret any of that?
I don't regret anything.
Yeah.
I live my life with absolutely no regrets, with everything. And I pushed a lot of buttons with the Figure Skating Federation, but I was trying to open them up and teach them I'm a modern young person. There are things that I like and things that I will do, and I don't need to answer to anybody. I make my own path in this world.
Your biggest competitor, I think, is Evan Lysacek. Was, yeah. And I know that you felt that sometimes the judges favored him, maybe because he had he conformed more to what they what they liked versus you. Do you hold any grudges against Evan at all?
I absolutely hold no grudges against Evan. I mean, when I was a competitive skater, of course, he was important in my life simply because he was my biggest rival from the United States. And in my life now, I have no interaction with Evan, and he really has no place in my life. And that picture you're showing now is from my book, and I thought it was so funny because we're rarely photographed together where we're smiling, and I thought it was the funniest thing to add to my book. So it's more of a joke picture than a serious anything.
So you do hold a little bit of something there, then?
I just hold, you know, he's the Olympic champion and a world champion, and of course I'm jealous of those titles that he has, but that's the only jealousy or grudge that I would hold against him.
Sometimes when people write a book, it signifies the end of an era. Or is this the end of the skating, Johnny Weir?
Absolutely not. I'm still performing all over the world. I'm actually 36 hours off a plane from Moscow. I was there for 2 weeks, performing in shows and visiting with friends and celebrating the new year. And I'm still skating. I'm going to get back into heavy training in the spring and see if I can get myself into competitive shape. I took 1 year off to rest and eat and relax and not have to deal with a million people telling me what to do every day so that I can make my own life. But I do miss competing, and I'll definitely try to be back.
Yeah, and it took that year to also write a book. Johnny
Yes.
Weir, thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for opening up your world to us as well. The book is called Welcome to My World, and Johnny will be back in our fourth hour skating for Kathy Lee and Hoda on the rink at Rockefeller Center.